चीनी राष्ट्रपति उपराष्ट्रपति शी जिनपिंग की साथ में समझौता हस्ताक्षर किसने किया था? कौन था वहां? कौन था? और ये हमें सवाल पूछ रहे हैं। मान्यवर, चीनी दूतावास की वेबसाइट पर एक तस्वीर है जिसमें ओलंपिक में चीनियों की मेजबानी से किए जा रहे गांधी वाड्रा परिवार की एक पूरी तस्वीर है जिसमें पूरा मैच खाने की चीजों से भरा है। ये कोई अंतर्राष्ट्रीय संवाद या गोष्ठी नहीं थी। मान्यवर, अभी अभी एक न्यूज लिंक का खुलासा हुआ है, न्यूज क्लिक का खुलासा हुआ है। अब न्यूज क्लिक ये सारे लोगों को बहुत पसंद है क्योंकि हमें गाली बोलते हैं, मोदी जी को सवाल पूछते हैं तो बड़े खुश हो जाते हैं, कुछ इनपुट्स भी देते हैं, कुछ वहाँ से ली हुई चीज़ों को फॉरवर्ड भी करते हैं। सबके सब है, पूरा यूपीए का गठबंधन है मान्यवर। परंतु ये न्यूज क्लिक किसके पैसों से चलता है? चीनी एजेंसी के पैसों से चलता है। और मान्यवर, ये हमें सवाल पूछे। मान्यवर, अभी भाई एक मिनट, अभी उनको अपने गठबंधन का नाम बदलना पड़ा। अच्छा नाम था यूपीए, 10 साल सत्ता में भी रह लिए थे। क्या प्रॉब्लम था भाई, नाम क्यों बदला? आप लोगों को मैं बताना चाहता हूं, देश की जनता को सदन के माध्यम से जाना, इतने सारे घोटाले टोटल लगाया तो 12 लाख करोड़ के बाद मैंने टोटल छोड़ दिया। 12 लाख करोड़ के घपले घोटाले भ्रष्टाचार यूपीए के नाम पर चढ़े हैं। कैसे जाए बाजार में? अब जो कंपनी दिवालिया हो जाती है या साख खराब हो जाती है इसकी, तो वो नाम बदल दे, बोर्ड बदल दे। इन्होंने भी नाम बदल दिया। मान्यवर, बोफोर्स, एक मिनट भाई, बोफोर्स घोटाला किसने किया? यूपीए ने किया। 2G स्पेक्ट्रम किसने किया? यूपीए ने। सत्यम घोटाला किसने किया? यूपीए। कॉमनवेल्थ घोटाला किसने किया? यूपीए ने। कोयला घोटाला किसने किया? यूपीए ने। टाटा ट्रक घोटाला किसने किया? यूपीए ने। वोट के बदले नोट का घोटाला किसने किया? यूपीए। आदर्श घोटाला किसने किया? यूपीए ने। नेशनल हेराल्ड का घोटाला किसने किया? यूपीए। वाड्रा का डीएलएफ घोटाला किसने किया? यूपीए ने। चारा घोटाला किसने किया? खाद्य सुरक्षा बिल का घोटाला किसने किया? गाजियाबाद प्रोविडेंट फंड घोटाला किसने किया? हर्षद मेहता शेयर बाजार का घोटाला किसने किया? हसन अली का हवाला घोटाला किसने किया? आईपीएल का घोटाला किसने किया? LIC हाउसिंग का घोटाला किसने किया? मधु कोड़ा घोटाला किसने किया? फायर फ्रॉन्ट सबमरीन घोटाला किसने किया? और कांग्रेस अध्यक्ष की यात्रा का भी घोटाला किसने किया? अब साहब, इनके नाम बदलने के अलावे कोई रास्ता नहीं रहा है। मैं आपको बताता हूं, हमें कोई नाम बदलने की जरूरत नहीं है कि 9 साल में और अटल जी के 6 साल में हमने कोई ऐसा काम नहीं किया जिससे सर झुकाना चाह पड़े, सीना तान कर मैदान में जाएंगे। मान्यवर, एनडीए ने स्थिरता दी, 10 साल तक स्थिरता दी। 30 साल से कांग्रेस ने 30 साल तक कोई सरकारों को चलने नहीं दिया। चंद्रशेखर जी को सबसे पहले, चरण सिंह जी को समर्थन दिया, सरकार, फिर चंद्रशेखर को समर्थन दिया, सरकार, देवगौड़ा को समर्थन दिया, सरकार। इनकी फितरत मान्यवर अस्थिरता है। मोदी जी ने, एनडीए ने, भाजपा ने देश को स्थिर शासन दिया है, इसलिए देश विकास है। मान्यवर, मोदी जी ने आजादी के अमृत महोत्सव में देश के बच्चे में मान्यवर देशभक्ति का संस्कार सिंचित करने का काम। मान्यवर, आजादी के अमृत महोत्सव के वर्ष में मोदी जी ने देश के एक एक जन के मन में देश के प्रति सम्मान और सुनहरे भविष्य की आशा को निर्मित करने का काम किया। मान्यवर, शताब्दी के लक्ष्य तय किए हैं मोदी जी ने, शताब्दी के लक्ष्य तय किए हैं, और आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव समाप्त होते ही 15 अगस्त को अमृत काल शुरू होगा। 25 वर्ष के अंदर हर क्षेत्र में भारत को विश्व में नंबर 1 बनाने का लक्ष्य मिलते हैं। और मैं इनको कहना चाहता हूं, आपको अविश्वास है, जनता को विश्वास है। इसलिए आजादी के अमृत महोत्सव के वर्ष में भी अगर आप जनता के बीच में जनता के मुद्दों को लेकर नहीं जाएंगे, ऐसे गलत मुद्दे लेकर जाएंगे, तो वहीं बैठना पड़ेगा, आपको कितना भी बुरा लगे। मान्यवर, मैं आज इस सदन के अविश्वास की प्रस्ताव की चर्चा के माध्यम से देश की जनता को करबद्ध विनती करना चाहता हूं कि देश को आगे ले जाना है। भारत को ऐसे मोड़ में लाकर मोदी जी ने खड़ा किया है, इसको कोई रोक नहीं सकता। आज़ादी के अमृत वर्ष में हम सब ने शताब्दी में भारत कैसा होगा इसका संकल्प लिया है। संकल्प को सिद्धि में परिवर्तित करने के ये 25 साल है। एक 5 साल मोदी को दे दीजिए, आने वाले दिनों में भारत विश्व के सब क्षेत्रों में 1 नंबर का देश बनेगा। अंत में मान्यवर, मैं फिर से मणिपुर में दोनों जूथों को, दोनों कम्युनिटी को करबद्ध निवेदन करना चाहता हूं कि कृपया हिंसा छोड़ दीजिए, भारत सरकार के साथ चर्चा में आइए, अकेले चर्चा करते ही इसकी जगह साथ चर्चा करिए, रास्ता निकालिए और फिर से हम खुशहाल मणिपुर जल्द से जल्द बनाइए, यही मेरी अभ्यर्थना है।
माननीय सदस्यगण, मैं पुनः सुबह की घटना के लिए माननीय सदस्य को अंतिम बार चेतावनी दे रहा हूं। टीएन प्रतापन को, सुबह टीएन प्रतापन ने जिस तरीके से सदन की गरिमा और आसन की गरिमा को कम करने का प्रयास किया है, ये सदन की गरिमा के लिए अनुकूल नहीं है। मैं किसी भी सदस्य के खिलाफ कार्रवाई नहीं करना चाहता, लेकिन अगर इस तरीके की घटना घटेगी तो मैं कार्रवाई करूंगा। सभा की कार्रवाई गुरुवार दिनांक 10।
मुझे लगता है आज लंबे समय के बाद मणिपुर पर चर्चा होनी दी है। मुझे सुना है इस सदन ने मणिपुर में शांति के लिए प्रस्ताव करना चाहिए, तो मणिपुर की दोनों जूथों को शांति रखने की अपील सदन के इस गृह से जाए, ऐसा मेरे आपसे निवेदन। मैं
सभी 1 मिनट, मेरा आग्रह है अध्यक्ष के नाते और जो माननीय 1 मिनट, हाँ बताइए, पहले आप बोल लीजिए।
सर, हम तो सदन में चर्चा की मांग आज से नहीं, शुरू के दिन से करते आ रहे हैं, और हमारे
1 मिनट रुकिए ना,
और हमारी चर्चा मांग के साथ साथ बार बार हम लोग गुहार लगाते आते हैं कि देश की प्रधानमंत्री सदन में आए और चर्चा की शुरुआत करें। हमारे गृह मंत्री अमित शाह जी, हम लोग ये नहीं कभी कहें कि उनका काबिलियत पे हमें कोई शक है, लेकिन ये बात जरूर कहेंगे कि जो जवाब डिस्ट्रिक्ट कलेक्टर को देना है वो कोतवाल कैसे देंगे। तो इसीलिए हम बार बार प्रधानमंत्री को आने के लिए
प्लीज आप इस बात से 1 मिनट, अधीर रंजन जी 1 मिनट, मैं बोलने का मौका दूंगा आपको। 1 मिनट बात सुने, मैं आपको मौका दूंगा आपको। प्लीज बैठिए, प्लीज, मैं मौका दूंगा आपको, प्लीज 1 मिनट, प्लीज।
अध्यक्ष महोदय, मैं आपके मणिपुर पर चर्चा की मांग विपक्ष के द्वारा की गई थी। मणिपुर की चर्चा यहाँ पर हुई है और गृह मंत्री जी ने उसका जवाब भी दिया है। कल प्रधानमंत्री जी भी जो अविश्वास के प्रस्ताव पर चर्चा हो रही है उसका उत्तर देने के लिए स्वयं सदन में उपस्थित रहेंगे। लेकिन जो एक गृह मंत्री जी ने जो आग्रह किया है कि पूरे सदन की तरफ से एक अपील होनी चाहिए ताकि मणिपुर में शांति की बहाली हो सके, तो मैं समझता हूं कि इसमें सभी का सहयोग हमें प्राप्त होना चाहिए।
एक मिनट मेरी बात सुनो, उसके बाद मैं बोलने को एक मिनट में बोलने का मौका दूंगा मैं, प्लीज। मैं आपको मौका दूंगा, प्लीज मौका दूंगा। हाँ, मौका दूंगा मैं। आप बैठिए, 1 मिनट मेरी बात सुनिए, मैं मौका दूंगा, प्लीज, मैं मौका दूंगा। आप विराजे, आप प्लीज 1 मिनट, प्लीज बैठिए, 1 मिनट आप बैठिए मंत्री जी, प्लीज आप 1 मिनट बैठिए, प्लीज आप भी बैठिए 1 मिनट। जो माननीय गृह मंत्री जी ने सदन से अपील की है, आप इस पे सहमत हैं या नहीं है? शांति की अपील पे सहमत है या नहीं है? मेरे एक सवाल का जवाब दीजिए आप।
प्रस्ताव रखिए, आप प्रस्ताव रखिए, ना करना है तो ना करें।
हमें ड्राफ्ट दिया जाए सर, हमें ड्राफ्ट दिया जाए, प्रस्ताव की ड्राफ्ट दिया जाए। दूसरी बात, प्रधानमंत्री की उपस्थिति में करना चाहते हैं, प्रधानमंत्री की साक्षी रखते हुए करना चाहते हैं। ये प्रधानमंत्री जी को गवाह रखते हुए करना चाहते हैं। हम तो इतना नहीं करती है, हमारा मांग है
सदन की तरफ से,
ये मांग तो हमारा।
प्रस्ताव रखता हूं कि संपूर्ण सदन जो कुछ भी घटना मणिपुर में घटी है उस पर शांति की अपील करती है, और सभी पक्षों से, सभी गुटों से जो माननीय गृह मंत्री जी ने प्रस्ताव रखा उस पर सर्वसम्मति से सारा सदन सहमत है। सभा की कार्रवाई गुरुवार दिनांक 10 अगस्त 2023 को प्रातः 11 बजे तक के लिए स्थगित की जाती है।
Welcome everyone. Thanks a lot for staying with us. You're watching Plain Speak with me, Shivani Gupta. So we've just seen day 2 of the no confidence debate motion now end for the day. It has of course ended with Home Minister Amit Shah's speech that did touch upon not just the differences between the previous governments, the Congress era and the BJP era, but most importantly on Manipur as well. Initially, amid flip-flops and widespread confusion, Rahul Gandhi finally addressed the parliament on the second day of this no-confidence motion debate, launching a scathing attack on the centre. The I.N.D.I.A MP alleged that political integrity has been obliterated in Manipur. Branding the Modi government as betrayers, Rahul Gandhi asserted they lacked in nationalistic spirit, contending that their politics compromised the essence of India within the state of Manipur. Responding from the government side earlier today was Union Minister Smriti Irani, who took on Rahul Gandhi on more than just the issue of Manipur. She invoked the 1984 Sikh massacre, the 1990s Kashmir Pandits exodus and massacre to emphasize that the Congress party's past was marred by bloodshed. Her comment calling Rahul misogynistic came because BJP women MPs have complained that he blew a flying kiss towards them in an indecent act. Congress, of course, has rejected all of these claims. Finally, as I mentioned, Home Minister Amit Shah took on the no-confidence motion, calling it politically motivated. He reiterated BJP's stand on the difference between UPA era and Modi terms. But most importantly, on Manipur, he presented the facts leading up to the violence that started a few months ago, while adding that he never shied away from responding on this or a debate on this issue. He claimed he was not being allowed to speak earlier. But possibly most important statement that came from him today was on the demand to sack current Manipur Chief Minister Biren Singh. The Home Minister said that Chief Ministers are changed when they don't cooperate, and the current Chief Minister is cooperating. As the verbal rhetorical battle intensifies and reaches a crescendo ahead of the final day of this debate, the question we ask is exactly who is leading the battle of perception. Is it the NDA, the government side, or the India bloc, the opposition? We'll take that to our guests in just a bit. But let me first break down some top statements made by Amit Shah today. Of course, most important were his statements on politics over Manipur or the violence that has been raging in Manipur. So first up, he mentioned, as far as that video is concerned, He said politics over that parading incident that came to light on video just before the parliament session began was shameful. And he also reiterated that even before this session began, he had written to the Lok Sabha speaker and said that he is ready as a Home Minister for a debate on the Manipur issue. He also went on to say and criticize the Congress or the previous governments by saying that we, as in the BJP government under Narendra Modi, does not have a hota hai approach. So they are not just sitting idly as this goes on in Manipur. He mentioned for over 6 years under the BJP rule till May 2023 this year, there was not a single curfew in Manipur, a state that of course has been marred by violence in the past. He also said, and this is an important statement from the Home Minister, that the April judgment of the Manipur High Court acted as fuel to fire, even though there are other ground realities that resulted as far as this violent cycle is concerned. And finally, as I mentioned, he backed current Chief Minister Biren Singh and said that CMs are changed when they don't cooperate. In other words, there is no need to change the current Chief Minister. So today in Parliament, Union Minister Smriti Irani and Congress MP Rahul Gandhi also locked horns over the issue of Manipur before, of course, the final session belongs to the Home Minister Amit Shah. Let's take a look at exactly how these two parliamentarians came face to face. So Rahul Gandhi today, in a rather hyperbolic statement, said that Bharat Mata was killed in Manipur by the centre, a statement that has drawn much ire from the BJP and the government. When Smriti Irani spoke, she asserted that Manipur is an integral part of India. Rahul Gandhi also said that BJP government has divided Manipur into two parts. In a veiled jab at Rahul, Union Minister Smriti Irani remarked, "You're not India because India isn't corrupt." This is of course on the opposition bloc. Rahul retorted, "For Prime Minister Modi, Manipur does not seem to be within India." This is of course a line that the Congress has been taking, claiming that the Prime Minister is not visiting the state, so therefore something is amiss. A counter from the Amethi MP followed, stating, "India values merit, not dynasty." Rahul escalated confrontation, targeting the Prime Minister's perceived arrogance for not visiting the state of Manipur. The Union Minister Smriti Irani launched a scathing critique, asserting Rahul epitomizes incompetence in India. In a dramatic moment within Parliament, Rahul also drew a parallel between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Ravan, something that a former Congress leader has also done, quipping, "The PM, much like Ravan, listens to only two voices." Irani, on her part, questioned what was Robert Vadra's association with Adani, since Rahul and the Congress have been attacking the government on the issue of Adani companies as well. Meanwhile, BJP MPs have lodged a complaint with the Speaker against Rahul Gandhi, alleging that he blew a flying kiss. The complaint was endorsed by as many as 20 women parliamentarians. Let me break down what some of the statements in this complaint are saying. Women BJP MPs are alleging that Rahul behaved in an indecent manner. He made this inappropriate gesture towards Smriti Irani. That's at least what the letter says. They demanded stringent action against such behavior, claiming that dignity of female members was insulted. Eventually, they suggested that this was a flying kiss blown in the direction of women parliamentarians from the BJP party. And Rahul's alleged action, they said, brought disrepute and lowered House dignity. With that, let's go across to our first debate coming up. The no trust debate. Who is exactly leading this battle of perception? That's coming up with our guests.
आज आपको डरने की जरूरत नहीं।
Quit India!
मणिपुर में हिंदुस्तान की हत्या की है। मैं मणिपुर में अपनी मां की हत्या की बात कर रहा हूं। मैं आदर से बोल रहा हूं। आपने मेरी मां की हत्या की मणिपुर में। एक मेरी मां यहां बैठी है, दूसरी मां को आपने मणिपुर में मारा है।
मोदी जी ने आज नारा दिया है, भ्रष्टाचार क्विट इंडिया, परिवारवाद क्विट इंडिया, तुष्टीकरण क्विट इंडिया।
मणिपुर खंडित नहीं है, विभाजित नहीं है, मेरे देश का अंग है।
मैंने सिर्फ सच्चाई रखी। गलत गलत गलत
Never before has the misogynistic behavior of a man been so visible in Parliament as what was done by Shri Rahul Gandhi today.
बिल्कुल नहीं, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है, बल्कि उनको बोलने में जितना उन्होंने डिस्टर्ब किया है उतना करना नहीं चाहिए। जब एक इंसान बोलता है तो उसकी बातें तो सुने, उसका मजाक उड़ा रहे हैं।
The question is who's leading the battle of perception, because remember, the no trust motion is not really about the numbers because the government is not in any real danger. Let me take that to our guest joining us. Charu Pragya, spokesperson of the BJP, is with us. Dolly Sharma from the Congress party. I'm also joined by Javed Ansari, senior journalist, and Manisha Priyam, who's a political analyst, with us. Let me begin with our political guest first. Dolly Sharma, I'm coming to you. Not only has the Home Minister given a very detailed response on the issue of Manipur, which was your prime objective as far as this motion is concerned. He has called it a politically motivated motion because he said today that I wanted to speak on this issue from day one, but the opposition was not allowing him to speak. Are you finally satisfied with the fact that there's been such a detailed response from the Home Minister nonetheless?
When did he wanted to speak on Manipur? Nobody knows. Because from day one, this government was running away. Now, because of this motion, they are speaking today, and also, again and again, they are quoting politics and all. देश की महिलाओं की इज्जत तार-तार हुई है, मणिपुर के घर जल रहे हैं, लोग अपने घरों में नहीं रह रहे, और इस चीज को ये राजनीति कह रहे हैं। विपक्ष सवाल भी ना करे इनसे, विपक्ष इनसे पूछे भी ना कि डबल इंजन की सरकार आखिर क्यों फेल हो रही है। राहुल गांधी gave 2 examples in the parliament. He gave only 2. He has visited, he's seen what has happened to the children, to the females. 80 साल की औरत को जिंदा जला दिया. Is it normal? एक छोटे बच्चे को गोली मार दी. Is it normal?
But the Home Minister is not alleging. The Home Minister is not suggesting that it is normal. The Home Minister said that even before the session began, I wrote to the Speaker saying that I wanted to speak on this and I wanted a discussion on this.
No, opposition is not politicizing this. Opposition is asking the question to this double engine ki sarkar that you have failed. You promised peace and you have failed, and you are running away from the questions. You are diverting the issue. और देश में भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार चूहे के मरने पर राजनीति करती है और वहां पर इस्तीफे मांगती है। तो अगर हम वीरेंद्र सिंह का इस्तीफा मांग रहे हैं तो क्या गलत करेंगे वो लोग जो हाथी के मरने पे।
Good, you raised that point because the Home Minister did exactly speak on that. He has endorsed Birendra Singh continuing in his position by saying that there is no need to change him because the Chief Minister is cooperating. In other words, that he is doing whatever he can do in this situation to normalize the situation. Yes, Charu Pragya, please come in. The Congress still believes that, the questions over Manipur were evaded by the government till the time the opposition came together to move this motion and bring you into the House. And even towards the end of the session today, when the Home Minister wanted to have a resolution from the House on peace to prevail in Manipur, the opposition, especially the Congress, insisted the Prime Minister should be present for that.
Shivani, so I'm going to take 2 statements that the Congress spokesperson has raised. First of all the outrage that she is showing now on Manipur, she should have been aware that the government wanted to discuss Manipur since the day Parliament commenced, since day one. It was this very same opposition which ensured this discussion did not happen. Our Home Minister, our Defence Minister, all of us, whatever medium of communication we could find, we've been saying, stop disrupting the Parliament and let's talk, let's be sensible and let's allow the Parliament to function. So, Dolly ji, maybe you should have been more aware of what is happening in Parliament before making statements like that. Number 2, she's talking of Desh ki Mahilaएं today. I like the anger with which you are talking about the people in Manipur. Definitely. We all feel the same anger. But because आप ही ने बोला है देश की महिलाएं, I want to know whether you or any of your leaders have given any statement about देश की महिलाएं जो राजस्थान में रहती हैं, या देश की महिलाएं आपके हिसाब से केवल मणिपुर में ही रहती हैं. None of you have spoken out about it. In fact, you have gone on to sack the minister who raised the concern about the situation of women in Rajasthan. So please do not be double-edged about this. You're exposing your hypocrisy. Lastly, you think this this entire
like
discussion in Parliament today
like you are doing for
is
Manipur.
happening.
3 people arrested immediately.
I did not interrupt you, Dolly.
In Rajasthan,
Dolly, I did not interrupt you.
Okay,
Dolly, I know the reality upsets you. Do not speak over me.
Okay, I would appreciate if everybody can have their say without any crosstalk. Dolly, I'll come back to you. I'll give you an opportunity to respond, Dolly, one more time. Let Charu finish. 2 of our guests are waiting. Yes, Charu, please complete. Although I don't think on a day like today we should be making any comparisons of what else has happened in any other state. Manipur, of course, is going through ethnic violence cycle of an almost unprecedented scale.
We are not drawing a comparison. We are also discussing, but and our Home Minister has spoken for 2 hours about it. Anyway, let's come back to the no confidence motion. This same no confidence motion which was predicted by Honorable Modi ji 5 years ago. In 2018, when the UPA government tried to pull the same stunt, the exact same thing happened. You know what you are doing? You already know you don't have the numbers. You think you can set an agenda for an election by using a parliamentary tool, a critical, important one like that, to meet your political agendas. It's not right. It's misusing democracy. Anyways, everything that you have said will be blown to shatters tomorrow, like it has been blown to shatters today when the NDA has stood up and spoken. Tomorrow Modi ji will speak. But, you know, let's remember one more very, very critical thing. Today, whatever is happening in Parliament, they also know what is going to be the result of this.
Okay, we'll come to that. We'll come to that. Let's focus on the statements that have been made today. And as far as the issue of Manipur is concerned,
you have, and also I want to talk about Rahul Gandhi winking
as far as the battle of perception is concerned, is one side looking to win that battle? Because ultimately it is about perception. Barely a year to go, less than a year to go ahead of next general elections. So let me go across to our experts joining us. Manisha Priyam, why don't I come to you? Do you believe with the Home Minister's intervention today, which is of course penultimate intervention before the Prime Minister's intervention tomorrow, the government seems to be on a strong footing, not just defeating the no confidence motion in numbers but also in perception, or no?
No, government definitely seems to be on a strong footing, and this was widely expected. I also believe that the Home Minister should have been allowed to speak on the floor of the House. In fact, both houses on the situation in Manipur. The Home Minister of himself has the authority and the locus standi to inform the House of matters of concern. The opposition should have allowed those statements to be made, and that would have led to a bipartisan debate emerging on Manipur. Having said these things, absolutely, in the defense of the current government, there is one thing that I do not concede on at all, and that is on peripheral debates outside the House, raising issues of Rajasthan and Bengal and saying so many here, so many there, did you speak here, did you speak there? Let us tell you that as women, the conscience of this nation is stunned on what's happened in Manipur, and the Chief Minister of Manipur has seen this tragedy in the making. Forget anything else. There are articles 356 under which he should have been dismissed. He should have had his own conscience. How does he feel comfortable that a majority ethnic community has led to violence perpetrated on this scale on women who were simply doing the act of living agricultural lives, bringing up their children? So let me tell you that the trauma is immense, and even the opposition should have allowed the statements of the Home Minister
earlier as well.
In both houses of Parliament, the debate should have been absolutely non-partisan. I am not happy to hear Manipur is a very grave situation, and definitely, if any government deserves to be dismissed, it is this government, because it's locus standi to be the government even of the people of Manipur. It is now perceived largely as a government of one side. And that's not something we believe. You know, our government, for example, when the Home Minister is speaking, Prime Minister is speaking, they take the confidence of the nation with them. Whatever there may be political differences within the House, the citizen tunes into national debates and listens to what the words of confidence or words of ground situation, words of what action taken are being given by our ministers.
Okay,
And
fair enough, Manisha Prem, I'll come back to you. Interesting point you make that as far as the question of whether this current government deserves to continue or not, in other words, the CM deserves to continue or not, you feel that, we've come to a pass where we can no longer say that. But let me bring in Javed Ansari as well. Javed, the question as far as the perception battle is concerned is also this. The Home Minister today said, I wanted to speak from day one of this session. I was not being allowed. There are non-aligned parties that feel that bringing this motion was not required. It could have been avoided. The discussion or debate, even on Manipur, could have happened without bringing this motion. So purely on perception, could the opposition have allowed a debate under various rules, or did they really need to insist that the Prime Minister must come and speak and not be satisfied with the Home Minister's statement?
Give me one reason why the Prime Minister should not speak on this debate. Is Manipur not a part of India? Is this situation not serious enough to warrant the Prime Minister's intervention? My reasons for wanting the Prime Minister to speak is, we may or may not agree with the Prime Minister. You don't have to be an admirer. But the fact is that he's the tallest leader in the country. He is the Prime Minister of India. If the Prime Minister of India makes an appeal, that will have a far greater effect than anybody else doing it. Even the Home Minister or the Defence Minister or anybody else. So what is this? Is he not accountable? He can speak on the Manipur issue after the Supreme Court has indicated it will appeal. He spoke for 32 seconds outside Parliament, in the car park of Parliament, but did not deem it fit to come to the floor of the House and speak. Why can this not happen? What is this big issue? Is he not accountable? Is he above Parliament? Is he not answerable? Why can't the Prime Minister not speak? Yes, the debates, sometimes in Parliament, you win the debate but lose the vote, as happened on the Delhi Civil Services case. Clearly, the BJP has the numbers, the government has the numbers, and they will certainly win the debate. They will win the numbers game, certainly. The Home Minister spoke for 2 hours and more. I would have been very happy. Speaking is not enough. What is the answer you have provided? What have you come up with? What are you going to do?
But the Home Minister did speak on that, and there is a complex situation. Yes, sir, I'll give you that. The Home Minister did speak on this, and I think hearing from the Home Minister was instrumental and educational today.
What is the answer, solution he offered? Maybe I didn't hear, you heard, educators.
No, that's what I was coming to, that possibly there was no solution that was presented today. But can a solution to this very complex problem be presented in a debate like this? That's the only question I was coming to, but fair enough, fair point. Charu Pragya, please respond to both the question of why the Chief Minister is being persisted with, and why is it a problem if the Prime Minister is expected to speak on this issue, which possibly will now happen tomorrow only because this motion is being debated?
No, absolutely not, Shivani. And let's remember that it's the job of the opposition to hold the government accountable. And by all means, you should be holding the government accountable. But for the entire opposition, the government means one person. It does not mean his council of ministers. It does not mean the domain expert, the minister in charge of home affairs of the country, or our defense minister. I don't think that is the right approach to the issue. It is like being a stubborn child and insisting on certain things. The Prime Minister's views on Manipur have been evidently clear from the first day. He has spoken and he did not mince his words in his statement at all. That being said, how do you know if you had allowed the Parliament to function, somebody would not have clarified exactly what has been said today much earlier? You are just intent on wasting time of the Parliament. Maybe the Prime Minister himself would have spoken. Now it is very easy for you to say that we did all of this because of the Prime Minister. Please hold the government accountable. Do not point fingers at one individual only, which is what the opposition wants to do. Even yesterday, Rahul Gandhi ji was saying that I will speak when the Prime Minister is present. Are you speaking to the Prime Minister or are you speaking to the country? Are you speaking to the Prime Minister or are you speaking in Parliament? I don't understand what kind of a statement is that.
Okay,
Is it even
let Dolly come in very quickly. I
today
want to
the
get.
way he
I
behaved in
want to go
Parliament
to the
after
issue
his
of
own
Rahul Gandhi's
statement?
speech today
He's
as well.
blowing
I have
flames.
limited
Isn't
time.
that a
Dolly
lady
Sharma,
member of
please respond.
Parliament?
1 second,
Is
Charu.
that
Charu, 1
dignified?
second.
His
Dolly, the
words,
question
his
is.
behavior, nothing is
Charu,
parliamentary.
1 second, please. Dolly, the question is, if the opposition also made it more an ego battle instead of being earnest in what they were wanting to get out, who knows? The Prime Minister could have responded had the House been allowed to function in a normal manner.
See, from day one, my question remains the same. We wanted answers on Manipur. And exactly the same point as Sir quoted here, that he is the highest chair of this country. And Manipur is no normal situation. When would we expect the Prime Minister to come and request and ask the country कि शांति बनाओ, मणिपुर में शांति बनाओ? हमने कोई एक स्टेटमेंट प्राइम मिनिस्टर का नहीं देखा कि उन्होंने कहा हो मणिपुर में शांति की बहाली कीजिए या नुहू में ऐसे दंगे ना हो, शांति की अपील. Did you see Prime Minister speaking to this nation, appealing for peace? No,
Okay.
he did not.
I like the faith that even the Congress is showing in the Prime Minister's ability. So thank you for that, Dolly, because it is evidently clear from what you are saying is even you understand that besides Prime Minister Modi, nobody is in a better place to be at the helm of affairs in this country. So thank you for that. But even Prime Minister Modi does not have a magic wand that can wave away the ill treatment of the Northeast for 50 plus years. And you have to take responsibility for that. What we are seeing today is a result of 42 years of insurgency which was encouraged by you.
Okay, 1 second. We've been through this. We've been through this. Unfortunately, I have limited time, a little bit of a lesser time because the Home Minister's speech spilled into the show. I want to come very quickly and I'll give all of our panelists 30 seconds on the other thing we witnessed in Parliament today. And Dolly, I'll give you the first opportunity. A charge, serious, if you look at the charge made against Rahul Gandhi, there is no clear video that suggests he did what the BJP parliamentarians are accusing him of. I don't know, maybe a video will emerge, I'm not so sure. But a serious charge was made that he was indecent in his behavior by blowing a kiss towards women parliamentarians. Please, very quickly, how would you respond to that? 30 seconds. Dolly.
Ji. Can you repeat the question again?
How do you respond to the charge made against Rahul Gandhi today over his alleged flying kiss?
Oh, come on, whatever the video that came out, उसमें भी कुछ नहीं दिख रहा है. इनको ना जाने क्या-क्या दिखता है. मणिपुर पर बात नहीं करनी, उसके अलावा सब चीजों पर बात करनी है. और हमारे नेता तो पूरे देश में मोहब्बत की बात करते हैं. वो उनके हर दुख में देश की जनता के हर दुख में
वाह मोहब्बत की बात करते तो are you allowed to blow kisses to women? It doesn't matter who that person is, and it's even worse if the person is a sitting minister of India.
But did he do
You
that,
are
Charu?
actually saying it's okay to blow kisses at women. मोहब्बत की बात करते हैं.
But Charu, you'll have to prove
okay,
this
you know
charge,
what,
right?
Let's remember 5 years
one
ago.
By one, Dolly, please. You had your say.
Let's
Charu
go back
and I,
5
please.
years.
Charu and I, please.
Let's
Charu,
go back
30
5
seconds.
years.
One
by one.
Okay. कोई evidence.
So yeah, let's go back 5 years. Yes. Rahul Gandhi thought it is okay to give an unwanted hug to our honorable Prime Minister and then wink after that. Is that parliamentary behavior? Gauri is defending him by saying ये तो मतलब मोहब्बत फैला रहे हैं. क्या would you be okay if a man winks at you? ये कोई मोहब्बत फैलाने की बात है? You are endorsing it, and this is happening in our parliament. This is happening in our parliament.
Okay, I've run out of time.
Please,
we'll have to wait and see exactly how this goes.
Sorry.
But this isn't the first time when it comes to gestures, a charge has been made against Rahul Gandhi. But I think the more important thing is to focus on the more meaty issue of the day, which is, of course, no confidence motion, but also what the Home Minister has now said on the issue of Manipur. I thank our guests for joining us. I have to slip into a very short break. But on the other side, we do continue our focus on the no confidence motion and the debate. Because remember, all eyes will be on the Prime Minister now on day 3, the final day of this motion debate. I'll be joined by our CNN News 18 team that is tracking the no confidence motion debate on the other side as we preview the Prime Minister's speech.
Brought to you by
एक दिन मैं सह नहीं पा रहा था, एक छोटी सी लड़की आती है, मुझे चिट्ठी दे देती है. मैंने चिट्ठी खोली, 8 साल की थी, उसमें लिखा था, राहुल, आई एम वॉकिंग विद यू, डोंट वरी। उसने मेरे पैर में चोट देखी और उसने अपनी शक्ति मुझे दे दी। सिर्फ उसने नहीं, रूमी ने कहा था, जो शब्द दिल से आते हैं वो शब्द दिल में जाते हैं। तो आज मैं दिमाग से नहीं बोलना चाह रहा हूं, मैं दिल से बोलना चाह रहा हूं। और मैं आज आप लोगों पर इतना आक्रमण नहीं करूंगा। मतलब एक दो गोले जरूर मारूंगा, मगर इतना नहीं मारूंगा। तो आप रिलैक्स कर सकते हैं।
डरिए मत।
अरे रक्षा मंत्री जी है, संभाल लेंगे हम लोग।
पिछले साल 130 दिन के लिए मैं भारत के एक कोने से दूसरे कोने तक गया, अकेला नहीं, बहुत सारे लोगों के साथ।
सर, ये हमारा टाइम खत्म करने का साजिश है।
समुद्र अधीर समुद्र के तट से
माननीय सदस्य, प्लीज ऐसे धमकाने का वाक्य मत बोलो यहाँ पे बोलिए।
आप उधर भी
हाँ प्लीज।
मैं समुद्र के तट से कश्मीर की बर्फीली पहाड़ी तक चला। नहीं, लद्दाख को मैंने नहीं छोड़ा। यात्रा अभी खत्म नहीं हुई है, यात्रा जारी है और जरूर लद्दाख आएंगे, घबराइए मत। बहुत सारे लोगों ने मुझसे पूछा यात्रा के दौरान, यात्रा के बाद, कि राहुल तुम क्यों चल रहे हो, क्या तुम्हारा लक्ष्य क्या है, कन्याकुमारी से कश्मीर तक क्यों जा रहे हो। और जब वो मुझसे पूछते थे, शुरुआत में मेरे मुंह से जवाब नहीं निकलता। शायद मुझे ही नहीं मालूम था कि मैंने ये यात्रा क्यों शुरू की। जब मैं कन्याकुमारी से शुरू हुआ, मैं सोच रहा था मैं हिंदुस्तान को देखना चाहता हूं, समझना चाहता हूं, लोगों के बीच में जाना चाहता हूं, मगर गहराई से मुझे मालूम नहीं था। थोड़ी देर में मुझे बात समझ आने लगी।
होता है का अप्रोच हमारा नहीं है, ये यूपीए का अप्रोच है। हमारा अप्रोच होता है का नहीं है, हम टॉलरेट नहीं कर सकते। मैं पुरानी हिंसाओं को इसलिए बताना चाहता हूं कि मणिपुर की नस्लीय हिंसाओं के स्वभाव को जनता ने जानना पड़ेगा। नस्ली हिंसा मणिपुर में जब जब होती है तब किस प्रकार से होती है वो भी जानना पड़ेगा। इसलिए मैं पुरानी हिंसाओं को भी रखूँगा। आपके मन में ये भ्रांति न हो, ये सवाल ना आए कि पुराना क्यों बता रहे। मान्यवर, 6 साल से करीब 6.5 साल से मणिपुर में भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार है। मणिपुर में भारतीय जनता पार्टी सरकार बनी तब से 3 मई तक एक भी दिन कर्फ्यू नहीं डालना पड़ा। मैं मेरी बात आग्रह के साथ कहना चाहता हूँ, मणिपुर में भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार के 6 साल पूरे हुए। 6 साल में मणिपुर में एक भी दिन कर्फ्यू नहीं डालना पड़ा। मणिपुर के अंदर एक भी दिन बंद नहीं रहा। मणिपुर के अंदर एक भी दिन ब्लॉकेड नहीं हुआ और उग्रवादी हिंसा लगभग समाप्त हो गई। ये 6 साल का
So the stage is set now for the Prime Minister to speak on the no confidence motion brought against his government. After some top ministers and today the Home Minister, all eyes will be on Narendra Modi on how he takes on the India bloc on this motion, especially because the opposition has not left it to imagination that the entire exercise was to bring the Prime Minister to Parliament and force his response, especially on Manipur. Interestingly, back in 2018, 1 year ahead of the 2019 general elections, when the then Modi government faced a no-trust motion, Prime Minister had then predicted that he will face another one a year ahead of 2024 elections, and that's exactly what has happened. Before I go across to my colleagues tracking this debate, let's listen into what he had said.
वो शुभकामनाएं मैं आज फिर देना चाहता हूं कि आप इतनी तैयारी करो कि 2023 में फिर से आपको अविश्वास प्रस्ताव लाने का मौका मिले और ये समर्पण भाव है, अहंकार का परिणाम है 400 से 40 हो गए, अहंकार का परिणाम है 400 से 40 हो गए और सेवा भाव का परिणाम है कि 2 से यहां आकर के बैठ गए, 2 से निकल करके आके बैठ गए। आप कहां से कहां पहुंच गए। अरे मिलावटी दुनिया में जीना पड़ रहा है, आप कोई लंबी बात करोगे तो शोभा नहीं देगी। वो शुभकामनाएं मैं आज फिर देना चाहता हूं कि आप इतनी तैयारी करो कि 2023 में फिर से आपको अविश्वास प्रस्ताव लाने का मौका मिले और ये समर्पण भाव है, अहंकार का परिणाम है 400 से 40 हो गए, अहंकार का परिणाम है 4।
So that was the Prime Minister in 2018. I'm joined by my colleagues who've all been tracking various facets of this debate. Payal Mehta, Pallavi Ghosh, Arunima and Aman Sharma. Aman, first of all, happy birthday to you. And you actually met the Prime Minister today. I saw your picture on social media as well. Let me begin with you. The Prime Minister obviously is known for his oration. He's a master orator. In fact, one of the BJD MPs had already said that every time he gets up and speaks, he shreds the Congress, puts it through a shredder. Could we have something like that tomorrow?
Well, I think the speech by the Prime Minister tomorrow will be more like the 2018 speech, laying out his governance agenda ahead of the 2024 elections. It will be more like setting the agenda for the Lok Sabha elections, what all his government has done. I think the Prime Minister's view on 2024 and this whole India alliance is pretty clear. Number one, that this is the Prime Minister who doesn't have a single allegation of corruption against his government in the last 9 years. Second, that this is a Prime Minister who has worked in national interest, who has even gone to the extent of doing surgical strikes on Pakistan when it was national interest was involved. And third, I think, is the promise of a stable and a strong government. I think the government, the PM may make that point. We don't know what PM will speak tomorrow, but I suppose that PM will make that point. He's made that in earlier speeches also.
Yes.
That please don't go in for a coalition unstable government. This country has moved ahead of that era of the various decades that we've seen coalition unstable governments. Vote for a strong government, and people of the country have also voted for strong governments of Mr. Narendra Modi, and that is what I think the 3-point agenda of the PM could reflect in his speech tomorrow, that there is no corruption allegation against my government. We have had a strong governance record, a strong public welfare record, a government which works in national interest for security, put security paramount, and of course the point that we are offering a stable, strong, and the numbers could, as we are seeing, could rise to 366, 365. That kind of a strong government is being offered by Mr. Narendra Modi.
Arunima, the government has also, or the BJP has also been making another 3 points on that Quit India campaign that they've started, incidentally, during this session as well. Dynasty, corruption, and of course, progress and commitment, appeasement of minorities. These are the 3 fundamental issues they feel that should be thrown out of India as part of this Quit India movement, and this could be a platform to reiterate those issues as well.
Yes, I think the agenda has already been set. I mean, Prime Minister said that in election rallies when the BJP parliamentary party meeting happened. He reiterated then also, and at the cluster meetings that are happening between the NDA leaders and the Prime Minister. This is the theme throughout. So it's very clear as to what the Prime Minister is going to say every time the opposition, which goes by the acronym INDIA, stands up. Why did they want the Prime Minister to be in the House? Because they wanted to discuss Manipur. If you saw the Home Minister's speech, all the questions that had been put forward, including once by Gaurav Gogoi, Home Minister has answered them, and it was not a very aggressive Home Minister. He was dealing with a lot of empathy when he was talking about what's happening in Manipur. The key question that the opposition had, why have you not sacked N. Biren Singh? That answer has also come forth, that we didn't need to sack him because he was cooperating. Whatever changes we wanted to make to the administration, the Chief Secretary, the DGP, all of that has been made. So what is left for the Prime Minister then? What is left for the Prime Minister is to show what the Home Minister touched upon, that the history of Northeast, of ethnic conflict is from the era of Rajiv Gandhi, is from the era of... Yes. So what is happening now? The problem now is a legacy issue. And I think on that point, he would take Congress to the shredders, like an opposition MP said. I will not be surprised if he also makes a mention of the alleged flying kiss. Because what did Rahul Gandhi say, that women in Manipur are unsafe, aapne Bharat Mata ki hatya kar di hai. So that Mata connection, the women connection of a member of parliament who's being accused of being disrespectful towards women. Prime Minister could well touch upon that as well.
Yeah, that will be quite interesting to see, because I don't think the Home Minister quite touched on that today. Interestingly, Pinaki Mishra, the BJD MP who talked about how the Congress goes through the shredders every time the PM speaks, was supposed to join us. Because the session went a little bit longer, he couldn't. We'll try and get him when we get the opportunity. Pallavi, I'm coming to you. Because that notion has been put forth by a non-aligned party like the BJD, is the Congress, is there any thought within the Congress that, oh, why did we give the Prime Minister this stage to hammer us? Because he does hammer the Congress and the UPA era every time he speaks in Parliament. It becomes an occasion.
Well, I mean, I think the Congress wanted to put forward Rahul Gandhi because they thought that Rahul Gandhi could hammer the Prime Minister. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out that way. I think the confusion and will he not speak? I think that exposes and reveals the sense of confusion and contradiction within the Congress party and also the India front thing. Because, just to get the backstory, his name topped the list. Last minute they scratch it. And I know this for a fact that Manish Tiwari was not supposed to speak yesterday, but suddenly he was called from court and come and speak. So I think the Congress party always underestimates the fact that they can never ever be so well prepared to take on the Prime Minister. They're actually giving on a platter, and I think the BJP is loving it, and the Prime Minister is of course going to seize this entire opportunity to hit back, not just at the Congress. We are thinking it's going to be an attack on Congress. No, it's going to be an attack also on the India front. And what is he going to try and tell his voters? See, when the Prime Minister is going to speak inside, he's not talking only about the political parties. It's more a speech meant for his voters, his constituency outside, and tell them, look, these people, they've all come together. And they've come together for two purposes. It's a coming together of people who each one of them are facing a corruption allegation. And second, मैं अकेले हूँ और सब ये सोच रहे हैं कि ये मुझ पे भारी पड़ेंगे. So it's me versus the rest. So many people need to come together to defeat one me. I think that's going to possibly be one of the pinnacles of his speech. We've
seen the Modi versus all battle and the narrative play out in 2019 as well. Yeah. It was very much Payal, pro-BJP. That narrative works for Narendra Modi. And now you track the BJP so closely. Is the BJP really relishing the no-confidence motion? उनको ऐसा लग रहा है कि अच्छा ही किया? No confidence motion.
BJP will tell you so, but many in the opposition parties, especially friendly opposition parties, who don't come out and say, they will also tell you that this is a grandstanding. One of the opposition party leaders called me yesterday and said that this is like a grandstanding because Modi is going to butcher them. Practically, that's the kind of sentiment that really exists. He's not going to let go of this platform.
Yeah, Payal, unfortunately, there's some issue with your mic, but Aman, you want to carry forward on that? I mean, how is the BJP looking at this issue? Do they feel this is an opportunity? ये तो बैठे बैठाए opposition opportunity मिल गया, and I think Prime Minister was quoted as saying in the parliamentary meet कि last ball पे छक्का लगाने का मौका है.
See, this no confidence motion is something that the BJP also wanted to defeat it big time. So, when we see tomorrow the numbers come out, and we've seen that in the Delhi bill also which came out, if the government wins with a number like 365, 366, it's a huge statement that, in spite of the India alliance on the other side, you have BJP and Mr. Jagan's party on your side, and then you notch up such a huge number, which is almost 35-40 seats up from the last confidence motion. I think it will be a big sign, and the government is planning to give a big statement. PM will obviously speak and as Pallavi said, butcher the Congress and take on the whole India alliance and changing the name. See, basically the BJP feel that changing the name doesn't change it.
Those ads are already out. Yes.
Very quickly, Shivani, just wanted to point out, the Prime Minister is constantly saying that we have become number 5 in the economic rating and we'll make you number 3. He said that when the Bharat Mandapam was getting inaugurated. You could well see that economic pitch coming in, because in the mind of the BJP supporters, this is the constant question, Khichdi Sarkar aayegi to hamara kya hoga? So that difference between a Khichdi Sarkar, an indecisive Sarkar, and a one-man show who has the capability of making you number 3 in the world economic rating.
Payal is back with us. Payal, continue.
Right, so the Prime Minister is going to use this opportunity to butcher the opposition. That's at least some opposition party.
We're using stronger and stronger words. From shred, we've come to butcher.
See, I mean, the way which the Prime Minister has spoken through these 9 cluster meetings have also been very, very similar. He's spoken about the India alliance. He said that I challenge each and every one of these MPs. If you ask them the full form of India, they'll not be able to explain it to you. So that's the kind of attack. He's called them Ghatiya Bandhan. He's called them Ghamandi Bandhan. He's called them all of that. So that is going to get more and more aggressive as we build up to tomorrow. I'm going to go quickly and grab that seat in the Lok Sabha gallery to be able to hear and to be able to witness what really happens there.
Absolutely. So Pallavi, tell me one thing on the issue of Rahul Gandhi. Like we were talking about the India alliance and the whole Khichdi aspect of it. Has India moved ahead from coalition governments? Now that Rahul Gandhi is back as a parliamentarian, even if it's an interim order till the merits of the case are decided, is that creating some further issues within the India bloc, because the prime face of Congress is eligible?
I think, Shivani, it's still a very honeymoon period as far as the India front is concerned. So they are they're happy to let Rahul Gandhi hog the limelight. I mean, I remember when he walked into Parliament, so you also had India front opposition leaders, having laddus with Mallikarjun Kharge and so on. The real challenge will begin later. That is when a ticket distribution begins. And I think parties which will really have a problem is the Trinamool Congress, the Aam Aadmi Party. I mean, look, a glimpse of that we got today when Mamata Banerjee in Kolkata said that, over at the national level we are all together, but at the state level the Congress is with the BJP. None of them will want to cede their grounds. And if you talk about Bengal, because I come from there and I know this for a fact, that the only way the TMC can do well is if they relentlessly attack the Congress party. I kind of feel sorry for Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, because the only way he can win and do well is if he keeps on attacking Mamata Banerjee. So just step away. Think of it from a point of view of a voter. He'll be thoroughly confused. Ki ye ho kya raha hai? They're all fighting with each other and expecting that.
But who is the prime ministerial candidate? That's the question.
So everyone will say different things. You ask a TMC leader, they'll say it's Mamata Banerjee. You ask Congress, they'll of course say it's Rahul Gandhi.
And therefore,
this is when Kharge has said we don't want to have the top.
And so expect the Prime Minister to attack not just Rahul Gandhi but TMC, DMK,
all
BRS, all of them. Even Supriya Sule. I mean, she's been left alone in the house, but expect attack from her also.
Said yesterday in the cluster meeting, he said the Congress party is so selfish that they've taken away the dreams of everybody else. He attacked the Congress party, saying that they do not let Pranab Mukherjee or Sharad Pawar even become, or even get their aspirations to become a Prime Minister. Long forgotten.
So good semi-final for the 2024, right?
Yeah, and also the political buzz taking from Pallavi is saying that who will be the first opposition party to quit India.
All right.
The bets are on in the BJP camp.
Well, it is, of course, we all know as journalists, an occupational hazard that we do not want to get into to try and predict what Narendra Modi does. So we weren't attempting that. We were just trying to bring our senses together of how it has been when the Prime Minister speaks in Parliament. It certainly, as I said earlier, becomes an occasion in itself. And has the opposition maybe committed a self-goal, as some suggested, by giving that opportunity to the Prime Minister like this? On that note, I have to take your leave. A big thanks to all of my colleagues for joining us. We will continue our big coverage all through tomorrow as well. And my colleague Anand is joining us. So it's all of us, grand party in the studio.
About what Prime Minister Narendra Modi is going to be speaking. We're going to focus this evening on the right stand. Thanks for that, Shivani. On the right stand, ladies and gentlemen, about what the Union Home Minister Amit Shah, while speaking nearly for 2 hours in the Lok Sabha, actually said. Amit Shah and his elements, if the Delhi Ordinance Bill and the kind of punches that he threw at the opposition was a precursor or warm-up Today, the Union Home Minister was in his elements. He was there with not just counters to the opposition, but he laid bare the opposition as far as their handling in the past when they were in government. He also questioned this entire alliance. He mocked this entire coinage of I.N.D.I.A and why the change of name was important, because what the UP actually stood for. But more importantly, he spoke on Manipur. He spoke on Manipur. He said what he had wanted to say from day one in Parliament as the government maintained.